Hello Redom family, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're back again with another video. This one is quite exciting because as you know, on this channel we talk a lot about stuff like this, and I'm very passionate about it. In terms of like exposing these demons. And let's just say the web chain. The creator of the web chain, Jeffrey Epstein. More exposes been happening. So without further ado, let's get into it. This should be a good one.
Court documents allege that sex tapes were taken of Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Sir Richard Branson by Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, this shit's about to get juicy. Now, just to be clear, we haven't got the full list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients yet, as they slowly but surely drip.
But you know what's funny? The list is actually out yet. People just choose to sweep it under the radar because it's not official news. It doesn't come straight from the MSM, which is quite disappointing because it's the same MSM who are involved with this stuff. So why are you expecting to hear the truth and nothing but the truth from them? It's not happening, okay? Go do your own research. The list is out there. It's been out for years now, 3 years. They don't create pandemics and created so much nonsense to try to cover it up. But it's inevitable, okay? The truth is going to suffice regardless of what you think. Regardless of how much meditation and prayer you do. The truth is going to come out regardless.
Feed this like a Kanye West album. But we've got a lot of names that Jeffrey Epstein liaised with and whatever else he was getting up to. And we're going to go through some of them today. Now, generally when you're filming sex, you're probably thinking, let's film something that looks good, right? I can't think of 3 people I'd least want to watch having sex than those 3 ugly, horrible, wretched human beings.
Why is Branson a wretched human being?
Well, I mean, it's the trains, isn't it? He's fucking every week I'm fucking moaning about Virgin. I think that's LNER, actually. I don't actually know. I'm just assuming it's all Branson's fault. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's just another knobhead billionaire. Just a quick recap. For those who don't know, Jeffrey Epstein is what looks to have been a pimp for the rich and powerful. And in turn, he used, this pedo island that he bought with all of his money that he'd amassed from very strange means, and allowed these men and women, it seems, to come on the island and do whatever the hell they wanted. Since then, he was caught and he died by hanging, of which all the security cameras mysteriously didn't work. There was a million different things that went wrong that day to allow for his death to take place, and in turn make absolutely sure that he never testified against the rich and powerful people he was friends with. And now we're finding out who those people were. It doesn't automatically prove that the people on the list had done bad things, but when I read them out, I'll let you do the math, but I will help you with some of the working out, like a teacher. And just so you know, when they first began investigating Epstein, federal officials had identified 36 girls, some as young as 14, who Epstein had been allegedly sexually abusing. Since then, it's gone bigger and bigger. But remember, what we're reading now is the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more names to come. Obviously, you've got Bill and Hillary Clinton, couples who pedo together, stay together apparently. Hillary's been sweeping all of this man's...
You know what's funny? Hillary Clinton's worse than Bill Clinton. She's worse. But when it all starts to come out, and all the stuff starts to come out, you're going to realize that evil is subjective. Some people have no idea how evil can be. All this horror movie you'll be seeing as a non-fictional. These demons exist in real life. They control you guys. They have power over you guys. Well, you give them the power, don't you?
Nonsense under the rug for decades, it seems. I mean, it's one of the worst kept secrets in politics. And actually, if you look at Joe Biden and the way he goes on with young women, it's rife among politicians for some reason. Oh, Michael Jackson. Imagine my shock. I'm sure he was just going for a little holiday, just topping up his tan. Not how it works when you've got...
A lot of people let their love for celebrities blind them. You don't know these people. You do not know these people. Sorry, you don't. When you stop seeing them on when you stop seeing them on TV and seeing them performing and seeing them on TMZ and all this stuff, when they go back to their private life and you go back to your private life, you have no clue what they're doing behind closed doors. Just because you've known them all your life and you've been listening to their music all your life doesn't mean you know them. Michael Jackson went to the island. Chris Tucker, my favorite comedian, went to the island. Eminem, my favorite artist, went to the island. It is what it is.
So the first accuser of Michael was in 1993. Second accuser was the maid's son. Third was a British teenager, also in 1993. Busy year for him. Fourth accuser was a cancer patient, another young boy, who was in hospital at the time, and apparently Michael sent him a basket full of toys. This is where he began visiting the Neverland Ranch and having sleepovers with Michael Jackson, which is a lot of where the testimony of the staff who worked at Neverland were like, yeah, this was fucking bizarre, and this is where you hear about Jesus juice, where he'd mix wine and coke to get them intoxicated. Gavin was 13 and openly discussed the sleeping arrangements while holding hands with Michael Jackson in the documentary.
Is it really appropriate?
You want to tell me this is really not creepy? Why are we so blinded because we like someone? Or because someone is very talented or they're very, you know, they're held high up in... This is what causes all the trouble, you know, that we go through as human beings. Be naive to think that certain people are just as good as we are. It doesn't work like that. For there to be good people, there has to be evil people. We live in a dualistic world. And the people at the top, they're at the top for a reason, because they're willing to do the things you're not willing to do. Oh, stop being lazy. Oh, you're going to stop being poor. Sometimes that doesn't always work. Sometimes the separation of you being poor and you being rich is doing something demonic. That's literally what's going to take you from point A to point B. Being demonic. Wake up with riches in your bank account. And respect everywhere, because you chose to sell your soul. That's the world they're trying to create for our kids, to make them think that they cannot make it unless they sell their soul.
For a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all, that's a beautiful thing. That's not a worrying thing.
Michael, there's nothing beautiful about that in this day and age, okay? Not in this day and age with all the nonsense coming out. There's nothing beautiful about that, Michael. In your head, you know, you might be innocent. I mean, now that we've seen all the old Jeffrey Epstein stuff coming out now we think it's quite obvious on Michael. Let's be real. Let's keep our emotions out of it. Let's think with a clear mind. Let's assume that these kids he, essayed are our family members. Let's be that open-minded. It's not a beautiful thing, Michael. It's not.
Why should they be worrying? Who's the criminal?
Perfectly normal behaviour. The fifth accuser came later, Wade Robson, who'd previously denied any wrongdoing, supported Michael Jackson later, said, look, I was in love with him and I was under his spell, which is classic behaviour in people who've been groomed. And then the sixth accuser was a child actor. Both of these guys tell very similar stories, that he would make them bend over, show their buttholes, while Michael Jackson had a wank. I'm saying this the way I'm saying it deliberately, because I'm sick of people acting like these people do no wrong because they love Man in the Mirror. It was a good tune. Lightning might not strike twice, but it certainly doesn't strike 6 times, does it? Maybe he learned his lesson about going with fans and decided to go through Jeffrey Epstein as someone who would provide a safety space where he could do whatever he wanted on this island. Or maybe he just wanted a holiday. David Copperfield, bloody good magician. Magician's one of the oldest hiders for pedos, isn't it, really? Put your hand in my hat, come and feel this rabbit. Ooh, lost all its hair because it's all scared of you. Bloody stiff as anything. It's quite scared, isn't it? That's a Ricky Gervais line, I've got to admit.
You've got magicians, you've got scientists, you've got politicians, you've got sports stars, you've got everyone. The only people they don't have there are normal people. The people who have been exploited. Who are literally the only people they don't have going in there, sneaking in there. Sneaking on that plane, on that island. Apparently there might even be a whole world underneath the island. There might be a whole world entirely where more demonic stuff take place under the island. But don't quote me, it's all allegedly for now. It's all gonna come out soon.
Disappointed. Can't lie, thought Copperfield was better than that. Leonardo DiCaprio!
Well,
no!
ain't that
Love Wolf of Wall Street.
It's all this legal.
No,
Titanic's actually pretty good as well. And this is the thing about DiCaprio, is he's always sort of named and shamed as this guy who only dates women who are half his age. It looks terrible. I don't want this to be true. He got on the Lolita Express. Do you know why it's called that? The Lolita Express got its name after a book written in 1955 about a professor who becomes sexually obsessed with his 12-year-old stepdaughter. The clue is in the name. It's not really much of a clue, is it?
Everything is all like a web chain, you know. They're not even trying to hide this stuff. You denying it, they're not even trying to hide it from you.
It might as well just have a fucking massive sign on the fucking side of the plane going, "We're a bunch of fucking pedos." I hope this one doesn't
Facts.
get demonetised, but it probably will. But that's the
It'll
risk
be
I
worth
take
it,
for
mate.
you lot. The truth is more important to me than money, for the most part. Like, unless that master promotes something, and then it's whatever, really. And now, a word from our sponsors. So I get messages every week from people saying to me, "Jody, how the hell is your beard so on point?" And let me tell you, as above, so below. I'm a goddamn walking masterpiece. And as much as I'd love to
What was that quote about? Was that like an
crop
Illuminati
soother
quote or
and
something?
crop preserver. For example, Bill Clinton is just cover to fucking cover. He's the main character. DiCaprio, ironically, for this one, is just an extra.
Yep.
Stephen Hawking, who wasn't on the list. I used to learn about that bloke in high school. Thought he was a genius. To be
Imagine this guy being on the list. Like, this is someone who we believe did no wrong. We've always felt sorry for. Who's also managed to escape justice. Just like that creep, you know, that the BBC chose to protect, Jimmy Savile. Oh, wow. You know what, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's
he
see where
still
this
is
heading.
clever. I'm not taking that away from him. Smart as a dart, isn't he? But, taints it for me. Apparently, it was just there for a science conference. Could
No,
you
it
not have a
wasn't.
science conference somewhere local? Why go to a pedo island? Now, there is the possibility he was taken against his will, because officially, if he doesn't want to do something, what's he going to do? Do you know what I mean? He can't push back. This might not be his thinking. He's typing the whole time, "Get me out of here." People are like, "Oh, he loves it." They've set him on...
Well, jokes apart, he most definitely was involved. You know, there's people. It's deeper than the physicality. There's demons in them, for real. There's demons in. Excuse me. There's demons in these people. That's why they love to take the innocent soul and ruin it. They get satisfaction out of it.
Mute. His wife's like, "Oh, don't worry, he's loving it." He might have hated the whole thing. Now, there is a rumour going around on social media that he was into little people. Is it dwarfs? Dwarfs. That is a fetish out there. Every now and then it'll crop up in the search bar and you're like, whoa, didn't realise people were into that. Hawking probably had an advantage on us all because he was always online. So he was just probably sick of browsing, found it one day and thought, what's on? You know what I mean? Might as well have a little ganders. And then he goes to Epstein's island and Epstein goes, "I can get you anything you want." He went, "Anything?" "Well, have I got a mission for you, mate?" In that little voice box thing that he had. He didn't say it like me, obviously.
Till I can get my...
Imagine it.
Oh, you know, we're just gonna leave it over there. We're just gonna leave it there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. I'm gonna be releasing a lot more reaction videos like this year. This year's gonna be a year of amazing things. Trust me. Just need to support me. I'm gonna be linking my other channel to this as well. Take care of yourselves. Peace and one love.